Greetings, everyone. This is the Hipster Snek, and today I am trying out the Survey, an amusing little game I found on Itch. And honestly, I'm kind of partial to survey-styled games. I actually find that a lot of them are really interesting and good incorporation of meta elements. And I like how on the monitor it actually shows my desktop wallpaper, which is the original banner art done by Setsuri. So that's really cool. That's a cute little touch. I like the meta elements are already getting incorporated, and we haven't even started. So we're gonna get started now. Press start to begin. I literally just did, and why is my wallpaper like mirrored? The text should be the other way. Do we have to have the whoa shaking? Okay, if I right click, I can look around. So that's cool. Oh, I have it correct on the wall last night in Uncovered 1945. Oh, I can mess with stuff. Rotate. Coming soon. Skein me. I guess that's a real game. Okay, that's cool. Controller, my mouse. I don't use wireless garbage. I don't know what all this is. This must be someone else's. Oh! Hey, look, I have physical presence. That's neat. I only got one arm, though. Okay, enough messing around. You're having a good day. You know what? Today is a day off. Things are kind of nice. I've had my morning coffee. I'm doing pretty alright. Are you an employee? Of yours? Or do you mean, do I work? I do have a day job outside of being a YouTuber. I'm not an employee of yours. That's just a really weird way to phrase that question, but I guess the answer is yes? Do you see what's on your right? Got a bookshelf, a window, two windows, barred window for some reason, and no bed. Apparently I had to sleep in this chair. Yeah, what's up? Can you figure out how to solve the Rubik's Cube? Oh, you're drawing my attention specifically to this. I can rotate it. So, like, that's pretty... What? Whoa. It was a joke. Oh. So, like, because I can rotate it and I can't actually solve it. So, no, I can't. You have to do it. But you can't! You literally haven't given me the tools necessary! Grab it and show it to... Okay. Here you go. It was a joke. Little jokey joke. What do you want from me? Yeah, see? Oh, I have to confirm. Did you know who you are? Why are you asking that in past tense? I'm not dead. Like, like, I'm still alive, you know? Yes. Hi? How'd you do that? It doesn't look like there's enough space between the wall and there. Are you alone in your room? Yeah, see, this is one of those things that a lot of these, oh gosh, that static effect is getting really bad. Like, this is a thing that, like, a lot of these survey games like to do. Is like, oh, are you alone? Are you sure you're alone? It's like, the thing is, everyone has different fears and reacts to different fears differently, but, like, almost all of them zero in on home invasion. Guys, I live in the American South. Someone breaking into your house is, like, pretty much carte blanche to light them up like the 4th of July. That is not a real tangible threat to me. So it's like, I get what you're doing, but it's not gonna work. Are you a human? I mean, I don't believe you. Maybe you're a cat playing this game, IDK, LO. And there goes what little gravitas we had. I'm not a human. I'm a Snek, actually. Did you hear that? I mean, yeah, that's my door opening. Probably my cat, for just being honest. He's kind of a pushy little guy. Well, I have two cats, but the boy is much pushier. Yep, I heard it. Forget it. Sounds like high heels. Is the home invader wearing stiletto heels? Am I in deadly premonition? Are you scared? Now what? Huh? Ah. Sorry, the only time I found a Jack-in-the-Box scary was FNAF 2. No, I'm good. If you saw something creepy, would you scream? Generally, no. Like, my reaction usually isn't screaming. I usually do the opposite and kind of, like, hunker down. In fact, the only time I can think of... There's two instances I can think of where I didn't. One was FNAF 4. The very first time I played FNAF 4, and I had not... It had just come out, so I hadn't seen any Let's Play footage. I tried the game, and Chica jump scared me. Like, Nightmare Chica hit me, like, almost immediately night one. And, like, that actually genuinely scared the crap out of me. And then, in Captain Warrington's Play Maze... I was so on edge during the last run of that video. When he jumped out of the ball pit, it genuinely startled me, and I did shout. And that one I actually have documented evidence of. But generally the answer is no. Do you fear darkness? No, actually I'm photosensitive. I actually thrive in the dark. The only thing that darkness really does is inconvenience me because I work on a flat screen TV as a monitor. So everything is kind of like a little bit darker to me than it is when you guys are seeing these videos. But generally, the answer is no. Can I guess your name? Yeah, probably. Hello? Oh, you tried. Your heart was in the right place, and you tried. That's the name of my computer. Oh, nice try. Oops, indeed. Hi? I just told you I don't really mind being in the dark. So... Oh, am I right? No, you got it wrong. Do you have a fear of death? None in particular. As I mentioned in several of these videos, I'm actually a man of the faith, and death is just the next step. So, like, to say that I fear it is wrong. Do I welcome it? No, not necessarily. I mean, Charles Dickens once wrote that life is a series of meetings and partings. And I think there's some real wisdom. Oh, the Jack-in-Box is gone. There's real wisdom to that. Because eventually you're going to say goodbye, but, like, does it have to be today? No, generally no, but, like, eventually. Not really, no. Did you hold the belief that dinosaurs existed? Past tense again? It's not a belief. Dinosaurs are an objective fact. They're also super cool, so I guess the answer is technically yes. Did you believe in the existence of aliens? Do I believe something else is out there in the universe? Yeah, broadly I do. Are they necessarily intelligent? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, first off, it's a lot of real estate going to waste, but I'm kind of the rare Earth theory mind frame, where it's like, you have to have so many things perfect in order for life to survive. And that's assuming that they haven't already done all this before. Like, that somewhere out there in the universe, there could have been an Earth-like planet that sustained civilization for thousands, tens of thousands of years. I mean, human civilization is only about 10,000 years old, give or take. So it's like, maybe these aliens were just way before us. Maybe they existed millions of years ago. Millions of Earth years ago, I guess. They've already come and gone, and their civilization's, like, already in ruins. Or maybe there's no evidence left because their sun exploded and their entire solar system is just gone now. The existence of aliens, especially intelligent aliens, also intelligent aliens that are close enough to ever get in contact with us, and on top of that, to have our civilizations coincide chronologically, is a lot. That's a lot of assumptions. Like, to have all of that line up perfectly is technically feasible and possible. Is it likely? Not really. But do I want to believe? Yeah, actually, I kind of do. I want to believe there's, like, something more out there. Are we the only ones in this universe or multiverse? Whatever. Kind of undercutting your alleged horror motif with the very flippant phrasing of questions here. That said, I don't believe in the multiverse. There's no actual solid ground for that theory at all. And what about this fiction? I don't care. I don't care, okay? There's no reason to assume that's how it works. That's just a guess at best. And second, are we the only ones in the universe? Observably, no. Like, there is life throughout the universe. It's just maybe not be particularly complex, but we know for a fact that there's life. Now, is that life self-aware or not? That's a different question, but it's also kind of besides the point. Are you afraid of heights? Actually, yes. Am I gonna, like, fly up on a mountaintop or something? Is my room gonna be, like, perched on top of, like, a plateau? Something? Fear of heights is one of the few that I legit have. Did you believe in time? Again, like that past tense phrasing. Time travel is the stuff of science fiction. There is no reason to believe that one could travel through time forwards, backwards, or sideways. Like, it's an interesting sci-fi concept, albeit one that's very easy to write poorly. No, there's no reason for me to believe that time travel exists, and here's why. If it did, we'd already be privy to that information. If someone did invent time travel and could travel back to the past, it stands to reason we would already have foreknowledge of it because they would have traveled back to the past. And then the thing is, there's no reason to believe that time as a concept can be traveled through at all. There's just no logical reasoning behind it. Not to mention, if you believe that the past is what it is and cannot be altered, then why should the future be any different anyway? So even were it possible, would you be locked outside of time forever and become some kind of observer? Like, nothing involved in time travel actually makes any lick of sense. You really have to suspend disbelief to use it as a story concept. So generally the answer is no. Did you hear that again? It sounded like a metal pipe. No. A book fell off my shelf and sounded like a lead pipe. Oh, my framed portrait of my desktop art is now gone. Yeah. I think there's something behind you. Is there? Because there wasn't last I checked. I don't even have a bed. Like, there's literally nothing behind me. No, you're wrong. You should probably look around. Okay. Why did it jump? Yeah, no, bro, we're good. There's nothing. Did you see anything? Sure didn't. It's weird. Weird, but let's keep going. Okay. Have you ever traveled to outer space? I have not. See, I'm one of those people who, one, I hate heights, and two, there's nothing in space. I'm sorry. I'm going to be that guy for a minute. Here's my hot take for the video. There's nothing in space. We pretty much know that planets are made up of the same stuff as Earth. The only feasible reason we'd ever go to the moon or Mars or any other planet or any other body in space is to mine it for minerals. Because there's literally nothing else out there. There's nothing interesting. There's no green-skinned space babes. There's no dragons. There's no Klingons. There's no spaceships. They're just not there. And you know what? It's the same for the ocean. People keep quoting that, we haven't mapped 90% of our ocean. You know that's not true, right? Because, like, people, that statistic first came out, like, shortly after World War II. So it's like, we've been mapping and scanning and understanding the ocean floor. And guess what? There's no dragons or green-skinned space babes down there either, okay? Screw the ocean and screw outer space. Have you ever considered that there might be aliens in space? Didn't we just have this discussion? Like, yeah, I've certainly considered it, and I mean, to some extent, I kind of hope there is. Now, will we ever contact them? I mean, almost certainly not. Earth is very far away. The nearest celestial body to Earth outside of the Milky Way is Proxima Centauri, which is measured in light years distance away. So, like, even if we find them, it's going to be a long, long time before that first date. Wait, are you Mark? Who's Mark? Mark, are you here? Looking for a Mark? No Mark? No, I'm Snek. Speed. What? What are you asking? Inertia is a property of matter, I guess. I am sped? Like, wait, are you asking me if my name is Speed? Because it's not. It's Snek. A YouTube. Oh, I am a YouTuber. That is true. I know it. Okay. Did you know how dinosaur died? Dinosaurs. Apparently the person giving me this quiz is Mr. DNA. Dinosaur. Yes. Every 10,000 years the moon comes really close to Earth. No. In fact, the most defining feature of the moon, other than the fact that nothing's there, is the fact that it has basically a perfect orbit around the Earth. In fact, human civilization is like about 10,000 years. Humans have been on the scene about that long. If that was true, that means that this weird lunar event has already happened in humanity's being on the planet. That was the reason why dinosaurs didn't survived. Why is the spelling and grammar getting worse? And no, it's... Do you mean now it's our turn? I mean, you use the correct "it's" in this context, so I mean, that's good. Please look outside from the window. Do I move? Oh, you just moved me. Guess I die. Shrug. But what did I just played? I know you're thinking that. The end. This is my brother game, Wishlist Plix. This is my first complete game, which took me around 2 months, and also I'm 14 years old. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't be too harsh. I'm getting the sense that English is not the dev's first language, because, like, for some reason, like, when it started, the questions were oddly phrased, but otherwise correct. And then as time went on, they seemed to get less and less coherent. So, okay, game dev, I'm going to level with you. You have a really good concept here. My only real thing is, like, you ask the player to look behind them and then you don't give them anything to look at. I'm not saying jump scare me. I'm saying furnish the room. Because it looks like that's supposed to be, like, someone's bedroom. Like, you had the bookshelf and, like, some framed pictures and, like, the uncovered game box on the table is very cute. I thought I appreciated that. I'm just saying, like, put a bed, put a table, an end table, a rug, something. Give the player something to look at. And if you're going to lean into the horror theming, you need to lean into it more. Because when the game started, and even in the game's title, like, this is The Survey Horror Game is the full title of the file. And then, like, you started with the horror motif, and halfway you kind of abandoned it and went into this really flippant comedy bit, which, I don't know, there was a little bit of cognitive dissonance, because at first I thought we were going horror, and then it went weird. And don't get me wrong, horror can be weird. I mean, Fran Bow exists. But, like, you just went in a very odd direction with it. Not to say that it couldn't work. If you're gonna refine this, if you're gonna polish this, if you're gonna do like a 1.2 release or something, you gotta clean up the spelling and grammar. Just, ask someone who's familiar with it and work on the phrasing a little bit. Also, the questions feel like they're out of order. Like, you ask about space, and then later it transitions into aliens, which is a logical through line. And then we kind of sidestep it. We start talking about dinosaurs, and then you go back to space aliens again. It's like, group the questions by their theming and work with that. And at first you're doing, like, the implication that someone was sneaking into my house, which again is not a fear that I hold particularly high. Like, if you're going to go for the horror motif, stick to the horror motif and try different angles. Like you were asking, are you afraid of the dark? And then you plunge the player into darkness. That's a good idea if the player answers yes. You should add some conditionals. Like, you asked me if I'm afraid of heights, but there was no context for it, and then you never did anything with that answer. Now, if you weren't going for horror, if you were actually going for a comedy game that had some horror trappings, then instead start with, like, the dark, unnerving stuff, shadows moving out of the corner of your eye. Treat it seriously up to a certain point. Then make the transition from the more serious, like, oh, are you alone in this room right now? Are you sure? And then transition into, the wacky, zany, woohoo dinosaur questions. As it stands, you have a good concept. This is a good rough draft. And I think if you just polished this concept and ran with it, you could make either a really good horror game or a really good horror comedy, a comedy game that pretends like it's a horror game kind of thing. Because both could work. But it feels like you're kind of trying to do both, and I feel like you need to kind of narrow the focus and maybe ask a few more questions before you get off to the reveal. You can still do like the weird moon doomsday event thing, like, but like you're saying the moon came really close to the Earth during its orbit, which it doesn't do, by the way. But that you also gave it a time frame short enough that it would have happened twice in humanity's existence. Like, it should have already happened. Like, if it happened today, it would have happened sometime in the early parts of like Mesopotamia. I'll have to ask Utaku for the exact like time frame that would be, but like that would be early human civilizations. Like, it already would have happened to us once. I don't know. I just find that kind of interesting. Well, again, polish the idea. I don't think it's a bad game, to be clear. And I think you should take those ideas that you have started with and run with it. Really lean into it, one way or another. I look forward to seeing more what you do with it because it is your first completed game, like you said. And you know what? Good on you. Absolutely. If you're still listening, if you're not, taking this really hard, like, it's cool. You have completed a game. You have listed the game. It is, in fact, a game front to end. Now, take what you've learned and do something more with it. Anyway, link is in the description if you guys want to give it a shot for yourselves. And this is the Hipster Snek, and I'll see you guys next time.